But I'm sure you've all heard the news. Warner Brothers has announced a new Lord of the Rings movie called The Hunt for Gollum, and Peter Jackson's going to produce, and there's going to have the original writers and all fun stuff. During this announcement, I discovered that someone already made a Hunt for Gollum movie back in 2009. It was a fan movie made by a group called Independent Online Cinema. Now, after Warner Brothers made the announcement, they copyright struck the fan film. That caused a bit of outrage, and fortunately they have it all settled out. The video is back on YouTube, and I was able to watch it, and it was amazing. The Hunt for Gollum, both the 2009 fan film and presumably what Peter Jackson and company are going to be working on, tells a story set in the beginning part of The Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf sends Aragorn to find Gollum. There's like a paragraph or two during the Council of Elrond where they talk about it, and I thought people say there's a little bit of dependencies. I haven't verified that myself. It's a story that never occurred to me to tell fully, but when I think about it, it does make an interesting story. And I thought this short film did a very good job of it. The movie is 30 minutes long, but that's more than enough to tell it fully, which raises some questions on what they're going to do with the Peter Jackson film. But I think that the crew has done enough that we can give them a little bit of grace and see what happens. But back to the 2009 fan film. When I loaded it up, first thing I noticed is that its resolution's at 720p, which isn't the greatest, especially these days. But the video was in 2009, and we've done some crazy things with computers since then. Independent Online Cinema released a slightly updated version more recently that's slightly longer, and it does have 1080p, but it isn't as good as even the 1080p videos I can record here, which is kind of disappointing, but you really can't blame them. This was a low budget film. They did it for fun, and they everything was out of pocket, and they don't have $1 billion budget or whatever to blow on it. Another thing you can notice by the low budget is some of the special effects aren't perfect. You can tell the orc costumes aren't nearly as good. They're good enough to not break anything, but you can sometimes see a bit of the Gollum CGI is honestly pretty terrible. But even with the bad CGI, they managed to somehow make up for it. They managed to be able to hide it with clever camera angles and the fact that for most of the film, Gollum is kept in a bag. But those are the only problems I have with it. The story is amazing. From what I saw, it's faithful to the little lore we got. The dialogue sounds like something I could imagine Tolkien writing. The actors looked very similar to the counterparts that were cast in the Lord of the Rings films. I don't know how they did it, but they found people who looked the same. And this is something that people might overlook, but the soundtrack was really good. I have all the Howard Shore Middle-earth soundtrack, and I listened to it while writing, and it sounded... it was the Hunt for Gollum fan film had all original soundtrack, but it sounded adjacent. It sounded like it was part of the same. I was very happy to find that the soundtrack you can download from the Hunt for Gollum website, so I'm going to be adding it to my mix of fantasy soundtrack to listen to while typing. In summary, I like this this short film a lot. I liked it even better than The Hobbit. Going forward, I really wish that us fans could get more Lord of the Rings project like this one, and less like The Rings of Power or any other blockbusters. Because even The Hobbit, though I did enjoy the Hobbit movies, they were lacking something that the original three had. And so did and this movie had it too. It's like, instead of having Hollywood interfere with the making of films just for more money. We have people just doing what they're passionate about and trying to share the world and characters of Tolkien, which they love, and for some reason, even with the faults, that makes this film seem very special. And actually, I'm kind of counting down the days until Lord of the Rings goes public domain. I think it's going to be in 2040, unless someone passes like another Mickey Mouse Protection Act, except for Lord of the Rings. And I hope then we'll be able to get a lot more stuff like this. In fact, there is already stuff like this. Independent Online Cinema made another movie that is almost an hour long. I haven't had time to watch it, but I'm really looking forward to it. Well, thank you for getting to the end of this video. Have you seen The Hunt for Gollum? If not, I'll have the links in the description, and I highly suggest you watch it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.